And we are on the Young Blood Podcast. It is, Thursday, April 16th. It is 10 o'clock at night. This is the 8th episode of our podcast, guys. We've made it to 8 episodes somehow, some way. We've got this far. We are at 8, and today's guest is actually somebody we've had on before, but now that things are kind of amped up as far as my recording studio goes, we're going to give this another shot. We're going to go for 2. Nathan Dass. Nathan Dass is somebody that I've known for a long time. He is a Boise local. He's from Idaho. He's lived in a few other states. You know, between the two of us, we have quite a few fun fucking stories. So buckle up, hang tight. Today we're kind of going to talk about how quarantine got extended to April 30th. It is no longer just 21 days. It is now some bullshit. 420 is also coming up this week. And I don't know about you guys. It kind of sucks not to be able to go do anything fun and crazy for your 420s. But yeah, man, thanks for checking in. Buckle on up and enjoy. How we doing today, Dass?
Pretty good.
Yeah?
Pretty good. Pretty swell.
You've been working pretty steady through this whole quarantine situation and everything. I feel like you've been nonstop.
Yeah. Been working two different jobs for 2 different companies. I mean, the same kind of work, just 2 different companies each day. Today, my boss called me at like 2 o'clock, and he's asking me when I get off because apparently he hurt himself on the job and he couldn't continue working today. So I had a nice 3-4 hours after like a 9-hour shift of work today. So been doing pretty well. Landscaping's an essential, and there's money to be made.
The essentials, I guess, is what we are all considered. What are we going and doing this weekend? Sorry, guys, I got my cord all fucked up here. Oh, okay, there we go. All right, so we're going to work this weekend, aren't we? Why don't we talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So you're saying your company's like a fire water restoration, so you guys are an essential business.
We're emergency repairmen,
right?
If you want to call it that, you know. But that's what we're considered. We do repairs for emergency floods. We do pretty much all of that good fun dandy stuff. That's also what considers us to be essential employees, because like what I'm basically doing, it sucks. So I'm working in people's fucking houses, and the people are there. So like, I personally haven't gotten a test or anything yet. I know I'm not sick. I don't feel sick. But my dad got a test. He tested negative, but that's still not necessarily proving that I'm like not asymptomatic or anything. So since I am working in people's houses and stuff, I'm looking into getting tested a couple times. I'm after this weekend, I'm gonna go up there and then do a test after we get back, just for shits and giggles, because then I don't know if we brought it there, and if we did, whatever. But yeah, we're going out tomorrow, and we're gonna remodel this lady's bathroom that flooded, and she's currently only got 1 bathroom in her house right now, so we've got to go up there and take care of that. And things are really weird with a lot of people. Like I don't really understand what's going to happen with all the restaurants. There's projections saying that it's going to be pushed up off past maybe the first of the year. You know, there's fucking all kinds of rumors going around. There's all kinds of news being spread. You know, we really don't know what's going to happen in the end, dude. And I was watching a couple podcasts on it. You know, look at me, podcast king. I fucking do podcasts. I watch podcasts, obviously. No, I don't watch my own podcast. That'd be a little weird. I spend enough time editing it as it is. Right. So this virus is a weird one. Joe Rogan was talking about it on his podcast with Chris D'Elia. He was talking about how this virus is super thrifty. It's got some fucking crazy capabilities, man. There's basically, if a virus spreads quickly, it's not a good thing for the virus. A virus spreading slowly, like the way that this one is, it's kind of showing that This is a weird, unique fucking thing, and it's also weird and unique because everybody can get it differently. But as much as we can sit here and talk about the coronavirus, it's already been going on for fucking a month. I'm kind of over talking about it. It's hard not to when it's such a relevant situation. Everything with the coronavirus right now is super fucking current. It's super about it's what's going on right now. And I don't know about you, Dass, but everything I'm hearing and seeing, like if you turn on the news, that's what they're covering. It's what there is to cover. And it sucks that everybody's not paying attention to other shit right now because of that. There's all kinds of crazy shit, which I wish I could actually provide something interesting to talk about on that matter.
Yeah. So one thing it's affecting is, stocks, our economy, definitely tanking our economy. Gas prices, it's definitely affected gas prices. I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, everything's in correlation of everything else. I think that's kind of the biggest thing that we see from this coronavirus with these non-essential businesses being shut down. Like, I realize how,
important I am. I feel very important. That's for sure.
Well, yeah, but I realize how, kind of essential these non-essential businesses are. Like, trying to get boots. Boot barns.
Right.
Closed.
You were saying you went boot shopping the other day, which personally I can't fucking stand putting a pair of boots on my feet. I mean, buying a pair of boots until I put them on my feet. Honestly, I cannot walk around in a pair of boots and spend the money on them. Like,
oh my god! And with everybody
unless I get a
infected?
chance to try them on first, like because you're spending $300 fucking bucks. Like if you're somebody like me, you don't buy cheap boots because I heard like you work on your feet all day.
Yes,
and,
sir.
you got to get good shit on your kicks, man. Like those are your Lambro feeties. You got to take care of your Lambro feeties.
Yep.
Those Chevrolet legs. You got to take care of that shit.
Yeah, it affects your whole future. You get old, start having hip problems.
Yeah, I don't like fucking not wearing something before I buy it like that. Like boots, especially. I know my t-shirt size and shit. Like I'm not that picky, but boots are fucking particular.
Right.
Boots are really particular. That's not something that you can fuck around with. So and we don't know how long you're not going to be able to do that for. At all. Like we have no idea how long this shit's going to be. So like it really sucks to think about. There's just going to be some ways of our lifestyle and some ways that we do shit that we're just gonna have to fucking say goodbye to for now and maybe forever. But I was listening to a couple of the clips today from a few podcasts I did a couple weeks ago, and that's the really cool thing about this whole podcast thing that I'm doing is basically the interactions with anybody who does a podcast. They will say anybody who has a podcast, been on a podcast, watches podcasts, they understand that there's a stigma behind them, that you gain so much from these conversations. Mm-hmm. You gain, and they're conversations. For one, you were coming over here to hang out tonight anyways. And the fact of the matter is, this isn't a conversation that I would have sat down and engaged myself in with you unless we were doing this podcast. Like, we wouldn't have sat here and critically spoken. We wouldn't have sat here and actually had a face-to-face conversation spent not on our phones. We'd probably be just sitting here in a circle fucking watching me play Xbox, doing absolutely nothing productive. And
sometimes, dude, like, whenever we drive or whenever we're, like, working together and there's no, like, distractions, dude, and we actually, like, sit down and talk, dude, I'd say we talk about pretty cool stuff.
I do, but I'm just saying that
this guy, 'cause
this engagement that we're having right now is definitely, having it on a podcast contributes to the conversation.
Correct.
That's all I'm trying to say is and me hosting this podcast, this is already, I've done 30 episodes or so. Not all of them have been posted, not all of them have made it on. But of the actual Young Blood podcast, again, guys, if you are listening to this, please check out YouTube. Please check out Apple Podcasts. Please check out Spotify. Subscribe, share, do the whole 9 yards. I'm not doing this for publicity. I'm doing this for the fucking interactions with people. But those likes and subscribes, they do help a ton. They do make my time and money and effort all worth it in the end. And right now, there is a lot of time, money, and effort being put into this just because I fucking enjoy doing it. It's a lot of fun. And back to what I'm saying. I really wouldn't engage in any of this shit if I wasn't for having a podcast. And so that's what's made the podcast even cooler to me is because I've had a passion for it before I started. And the passion for it has started to grow substantially as I've started to do it. Because I'm learning how fucking cool it really is, you know. And I personally watch the shit out of podcasts. Like I do it all the time. I'm fucking 25 years old, you know. I don't know jack shit about life yet, you know. And hopefully maybe if I start this podcast now, 20, 30 years from now, if I'm still doing a podcast, you know, I'll be really fucking glad I started when I did.
Yeah.
You know, and you can't. I was saying in a podcast with Anna, this movie I watched, there was a quote that was said, it's nobody gives a shit about what you're going to do. They give a shit about what you've done. You know, it's only about what you've done that matters. And you can sit there and you can talk about your dreams and aspirations, but you're talking about them. That's all you're fucking doing.
Yeah, it's all up in the air. It's all voice.
You're talking about them, and you should be talking about is the shit you've been doing, the shit you're done with, the shit you've achieved. Like that's what I want to do.
The struggle you're going through to achieve what you're trying to achieve in this moment. I mean, it's definitely been how much of a struggle has it been to get for you to get where you are now? Like,
oh, dude, you should see the difference from the first episode to this one. It's insane.
Oh yeah,
when
I was
substantial.
Here, Casey made me the lovely mic stand, and I fell through the goddamn chair.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Exactly. There was a lot of technical difficulties in the first few rounds. And the thing that comes with that is, man, like, I've worked my ass off on trying to make it cool. And that's what's cool. People ask, like, hey, what's your topic? I'm like, watch the fucking show.
Right. Yeah.
What's your podcast about? I could sit here and I could tell you, why don't you go check it the fuck out and you'll figure it out.
Tune the fuck in, motherfuckers.
Yeah, check it out. YoungBlood Podcast, all one word, YoungBloodPodcast. I can fucking spell. YoungBlood Podcast.
Subscribe and share.
Thank you, Dass. I really appreciate your support you're providing there with my somewhat half-assed advertisements. And if you guys who are actually tuned in on YouTube, you will notice that I have upgraded my filming setup a little bit. Again, guys, with the upgrades on upgrades, millions and millions, billions. We are doing upgrades, guys. Upgrades across America. Just kidding. Upgrades on the podcast. And that being said, these upgrades have really consisted of small things. Nothing really big and nothing really too crazy, but little things, ladies and gentlemen, little things. Baby steps. And the thing with little things, ladies and gentlemen, is little things go far away. They go very far away. And you know why that is? Because fuck, dude, a little thing is a mic stand. A soundproof wall. Soundproofing, by the way. Something I wanted to talk about.
Ambient noise.
Holy fuck, noise. Dude. Any of my friends, anybody out there listening, anybody in the music industry, radio industry, anybody who records understands soundproofing's a bitch. I, on the other hand, have never had to make my own soundproof room. This room is nowhere near soundproof, but it is 10 times better than it was. That's what's crazy. I'm still making more baby steps here and there, baby steps. But man, I spent hours. I got creative as fuck with it, and with everything being closed right now too, it's kind of shitty. Like I don't want to spend unnecessary money. You know, if I'm not gonna go out and I'm not gonna buy $50, $60, $70 in soundproofing material, I'm gonna fucking figure something out. You know.
Right. And one thing I want to say is you do not want to go to Walmart. Because that is COVID-19 Central. Literally, there are 50 to 100 people, 200, 300 people probably in Walmart. I get home from work at late, and there are still a bunch of people. Walmart closes at 8 o'clock, and there are probably at least 50
They're closed at
cars.
8 o'clock? That's
Yeah.
so early? That's so crazy
Or-
early.
Yeah, it's 8 o'clock.
Even Fred Meyer's still
Winco's
open.
10.
Fred Meyer's still open until 10 o'clock.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it's Walmart's 8 o'clock, and Winco's 10 o'clock.
So, let me ask you this, Doss. Does the environment contribute to the comfort of the podcast?
Yeah,
last time we recorded it was pretty comfortable, but at this point, I've done a couple of these, I like the way I have it set up. This is where I have it set up. This is the dining room of my house. This is,
right.
Yeah, and I pay a substantial amount of cash.
For two guys, 6 feet apart because of social distancing and because we're not gay. Nothing that we have against gay
either
people.
way, at this point, we work together, Doss. So that's kind of why I write off the fact that I'm disobeying every law of social distancing right now. But that's okay because go fuck yourself. We work together.
Yeah, I got money to be made. I'll make that money and then I'll die. And I might bring down a few motherfuckers with me.
Joel is fucking ruthless. He's just even weeks ago when everybody was really hyped up about it in the media and stuff, he was like, don't listen to the fucking media. That's so stupid. And I'm like, bro, it's people like you. He's like, I'm not going to stop going to work until I get told I'm going to get fined for going to work. And I'm like, of course.
I make my steps before then, I actually, for my 40-hour work week job, drive my own truck, keep to myself.
Didn't you used to be a barista?
I did used to be a barista.
Dude, let's talk about that for a second. Baristas are fucking getting busy. That is one thing I've noticed. There is a couple businesses in this whole thing that, there's a lot of shit shut down and not running right now. But there's some shit that people are kind of sleeping on it that those businesses be fucking booming. They are thriving. They are extremely busy. Starbucks. My friend, I'm a good friend of mine. She works at Starbucks, dude, and she's telling me she's telling me all the insides on this Dutch Bros situation. Did you hear anything about the Dutch Bros situation, Doss?
Yep.
What did you hear about the Dutch Bros situation?
So I heard there's the Dutch Bros in Meridian that somebody tested positive for COVID-19. And funny thing is that I don't go to Dutch Bros at all. I'm not about the idea, not about the coffee that they make. It's very just it's not really quality. It's just it's decent at best. But even then, it's not even that decent. Could I get that turned up just a smidge? Yeah, I went to Dutch Bros and there's no medium for that. Messing with volume, still trying to figure out the sound, guys.
So what I heard about Dutch Bros.
Oh yeah, what I was saying before I finished, I went there and got a drink at that same location. And then I've been trying to social distance myself for the best I could for those 2 weeks afterwards, but...
So, what I heard about the Dutch Bros situation, excuse me. What I heard about the Dutch Bros situation is basically there was a Dutch Bros employee who had contracted coronavirus, or who had, this is also, guys, this is through the grapevine. This isn't actual based on a news source. This is just what I heard from somebody who works in the industry from Starbucks talking about Dutch Bros. So this is also somebody's opinion from a competitor coffee shop. Okay, so put that in perspective a little bit.
I guess, but
yeah, so
she gets an hourly wage. She gets
they're fucking making
tips.
bank right now too. They are making, dude.
Yeah.
No, because they're getting hazard pay right now
No way.
at Starbucks. You should go back to being a coffee maker, brother. They're making some fucking money.
Dude, my sister at St. Luke's, I do not
but
think
hold
she
on,
gets hazard pay.
Let me finish what I'm saying. So back to the
If
story.
somebody can confirm that.
So back to the story.
Hospital workers.
Somebody had suspicion of maybe having COVID-19 and was carelessly still working. Okay, I guess again through the grapevine. This is me telling the story from somebody telling me the story. Okay, apparently this person was very careless. Okay, they just didn't give a shit. They were very careless. They just decided to keep going to work. Okay, management apparently found out about this. And, said, hey, go get a test, or they decided to go get a test, something had happened, and they went and got a test. Meanwhile, management may or may not have been aware that she was waiting on test results. I still don't know that for sure, but regardless, she was still working there, and when her test results got back, management had to ask this girl, I guess, hey, how are your test results? And even though she's still been working there the whole time, she was like, oh, I tested positive. And the management was like, oh, you should probably go home. So that is apparently what I heard about the Dutch Bros situation. So, and then somebody else at another Dutch Bros got it too. So, like, there's been a couple employees, I guess, that have gotten the coronavirus or whatever. There's a lot of animosity between Starbucks and Dutch Bros employees. And the funny thing is, because this all happened, my friend who works at Starbucks was telling me, she's all like, hey, it's fucking stupid because they actually had to shut down and clean all their stores. And so that time that Dutch Bros was shut down, Starbucks was fucking slammed for a couple days or something like that. And I was like, oh, I see why you fucking hate Dutch Bros. But so apparently Dutch Bros is under a little bit of heat right now for that.
I guess that says something to Starbucks that they better frou up their menu.
I mean, Starbucks is like, no matter what you do, there's some. If you're a barista, you're a fucking hipster. But like, at least the Starbucks hipsters are cleaner hipsters. I mean, like, no, look at the guys who
look.
work
I've been to some actual coffee shops. Like, I haven't really been to coffee shops around here because I haven't really spent much collective time here in Boise. But like, coffee shops in Houston, the coffee shops in Chicago. Bro, they're some of the best coffee shops I've been to. They actually pull their shots.
I've honestly never even been to Chicago. It's terrible, I know.
Oh yeah, it's pretty poor, dude. It literally costs.
No, it's terrible that I've never been there. Is what I'm saying.
Oh, I mean, Chicago. I mean, I like Chicago.
It's not a terrible place. It's terrible. I've never fucking been there.
One thing that gets me about Chicago is the fucking tolls. The tolls, dude. It takes you like $5 to go into the city. The tolls are like $1.25, $1.35 at least.
What the fuck, for
got
real?
it. Yeah, I got an Illinois toll pass. You just like prepay money on it, and you get, I think it's like 75 cents for a toll to go through. But still, it's like $3, $6 both ways.
So you're telling me you're getting bent the fuck over is what it's.
Oh yeah, if you live in Chicago, dude, you can get bent the fuck over. And hey, they're legalizing weed apparently, or they already did in May.
Really?
Or they're going to in May.
But where's Idaho on that train? Yeah. Nowhere to be found. It seems like.
I mean,
Idaho,
I don't know if it'll
Idaho
help the crime rate.
I mean, crime's down everywhere right now, but it's just gonna go right back up. They're gonna get bored.
There's always some shit happening in Chicago.
Well, man, I'll tell you what. Like, you know what's gonna happen?
I've seen
So
some
the courts
shit in
are
Chicago.
closed. So the courts are closed right now. But you know what's gonna happen is the courts are gonna open back up, and when they open back up, they're gonna be fucking slammed.
Oh yeah,
they're gonna
that's
be so
gonna be COVID central too.
They're gonna like so. The second that they open the courts back up, everybody's gonna try to get their shit in right away. Like, it's gonna be a madhouse at the fucking court system right now, right as it opens up. So they're gonna. If anybody has any court shit going on, I advise you use that to your advantage and try to push your shit back. Just be like, hey, well,
yep,
fuck,
nobody in particular, just anybody out there.
Shut the fuck up, Toss. Why you gotta call me out like that, man? I was doing a really good job at not talking about that in first person, and you just had to really fucking throw me under the bus there, didn't you?
None of our friends at all. I mean, dude.
I don't try to advertise my personal life too much on my podcast, but I guess, hosting a podcast, you pretty much throw it right out the fucking window right when you start that first episode. Yeah, especially because I plan on doing this for a long time. I'm not gonna never stop. I'm gonna keep on fucking doing it. Unless I die, which is very likely, but I don't fucking know.
Everybody dies someday.
There's only two things in life that are 100%, and that's death and taxes. 100%, man. So only two things in life that will follow you till the end: death and taxes. Well, I had a teacher who said that to me every fucking day in like 6th grade. I was like,
you're like, who hurt you, old man?
No, it was a lady. I was like, who hurt you? Who fucking hurt you?
Her husband probably died and left her with all
Oh, man. Like, I was like, who hurt you, darling? Are you all right? She literally, and she said it a lot. She was a great teacher, though, She was a good lady. She was a nice lady. I know, I'm really excited I figured out the camera thing. I mean, I wish, what I'll probably do after this episode, is I'm going to do, Jesus Christ, Nathan. Remember the cough tokens I used to make you do? Don't make me bring those back.
She don't live here no more.
Fuck you. We don't talk about her on here.
In 2 ways.
We don't talk about
Yeah, man. This has been a great podcast. Shit. It's about time I gotta head back because I gotta go to sleep. Wake up early.
Bro. We've still got like 20, 30 minutes on this podcast. You're fine.
I mean, give it about 5 minutes.
Oh my goodness gracious. Mr. Nathan Dass.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the flesh,
but
in the voice to y'all.
Yeah.
Ringing in your brain.
We still got a couple more things on here. What was left? Social distancing being a new normal. Excuse me, those words. Social distancing being a new normal. I'm really worried about this, but I really feel like it's gonna. There's people saying 5 years, there's people saying 2 years, there's people saying never. There's a lot of things being said right now as far as when things are going to be back to normal, if they ever will be. I don't think that things will ever return back to the original state of how they were. There's going to be some fucking shit it's always going to be coronavirus 2020 that changed. You know what I mean? We're just going to know.
Oh, yeah.
It's always going to be around.
One thing that I can say about it is communication. For me, when I talk to customers, usually I think about it at first, and I'm like, okay, I'm 6 feet away from them, talking to them like this, but sometimes they're old and they can't really hear me.
There's just nothing you can really do sometimes, too.
Yeah, but with me, I have characteristics about myself. I'm friendly, and then we start getting a little closer and start talking more. And I just noticed that a couple times today. Is I was standing right next to somebody, shoulder to shoulder, talking about his lawn, how proud he was, and he was happy that I did such a good job, and he tipped me $20. I told him
you got tipped $20 today, or is this a while?
It was today.
Yeah, how often do you get tipped? Especially, are your tips are you getting tipped more often because of the COVID shit?
I don't know. No, it's because I do such a good job, nigga. What are you talking about?
I mean,
But he handed me $20, and you know what I told him?
What'd you tell him?
I was like, hey, you can just call my office and give them my tip. Just be like, hey, he did such a good job. Whatever you're paying him, pay him double. And we kind of laughed, and he was gonna shake my hand, but he was like, I was like, oh, we can't.
Nobody's doing that right now. Yeah,
he's an older gentleman, and he's more likely to get it. But he's retired, and he works in his wood shop all day. And man, he makes incredible things.
That's why my job makes me so worried, bro. I'm going in people's I do fucking bathroom remodels.
Bro, I spent a summer last year in hundreds upon hundreds of people's homes,
Oh yeah, you were doing door to
had-
door. That's fucking crazy.
I wasn't doing door. I was installing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you were installing security
Yeah.
systems, but your security system shit was like there's people who did do the door to door part. You didn't do the door to door part. You did the
Exactly.
installation part.
Yeah, but being in there for that long, like, I mean, I don't get sick often, but when I do, I definitely get some of the symptoms from COVID. I get that respiratory, just like hard to breathe. But who knows? Like, maybe I'm immune.
I mean, you know, there's
Or
a
it
test.
Could be the death
There's
of me.
there's a test that you can get the antibodies tested for, and they can take a little drop of your blood, and from there, that little drop of your blood can tell you if you've had the disease before.
Really?
Dude, yeah, it just tests the fucking if your body's fought it off already. So,
Ooh,
and that tells
I just
you
can't handle needles, bro.
it's probably just a little fucking break. It's not even like a needle, dog. Like, don't be a pussy. Literally, it's.
I'm a pussy.
Oh, dude,
That's what kept me from doing harder drugs.
that's a
But-
fair statement.
What were you talking about?
That's what kept me from doing harder drugs. He said.
Anyways,
So a couple podcasts that you like to listen to.
that's
Let's go off on that because, for one, I know I was talking about earlier. I really enjoy listening to podcasts, and there's a couple of them that I regularly listen to. I know there's a couple of them that I listen to that I know other people probably everybody knows of. Almost everybody, if they know of a podcast, probably listens to a lot of the ones I do. How about you, Doss? As a couple podcasts, what are some that you listen to?
definitely Joe Rogan.
Oh, that goes without saying. I'm not trying. By the way, one thing I do want to say, I'm not trying to be Joe Rogan.
But that is a lot of our idols. Not even in the podcast world. Like,
I'm not trying to be Joe Rogan
the
by any means.
comedian. Fuck, dude.
But I am definitely like, I see the guy's a fucking. I look up to his like way of life. I think he's a fucking badass. I have a lot of. He's like The Rock to me. You know, I respect the guy. I respect his role. I respect his game. He does a good
The
fucking
Rock
job.
without a cliche nickname.
Well, I mean, bro, I fuck with The Rock, dude. The Rock is a motherfucking badass. That guy is the shit. I fuck with The Rock. I have so much respect for that guy as a public figure, not just as an actor, not just as a wrestler, just as a public figure, as somebody who's in the spotlight all the fucking time. Like, have you watched the show Ballers? Oh,
I
dude.
have not.
It's on HBO. Check it out, dude. It is it's got The Rock on there, dude.
HBO. Hulu.
So he plays a financial fucking basically like a money manager, a financial manager for NFL players. And he's an old retired NFL player, and he's working as like a broker, like a financial manager for these guys. And then just some of the shit on the show is just so fucking badass. And it's called Ballers, dude. He's wearing like these fucking $500,000. I don't even know $500,000 suits and shit. Like, I don't even know how much these fucking suits cost. Like, they're that nice. They're insane.
Probably
You know, and
50.
oh shit, they're so nice.
5,000.
They're like nicer suits than he actually wears. You know what I mean? They're like rented, like rented suits. Like,
Yeah.
he wears nice suits, and they're not even his suits. You know what I mean? That's how nice the show is. You know, so it's like it's a pretty cool show. Check it out. You know, have you sunk down to the Tiger King level yet?
Oh, I mean, I watched that before the hype came out. Thing is, dude, I'm from I wasn't from the South, but I was definitely raised in the
it's so
South.
funny to
And
think
to
about.
like hear all that stuff and like to see that, like, dude, I definitely believe it because I've been, dude, in Houston, bro. I remember I was laying a brick driveway in this dude's house whose next door neighbor was JJ, or it was like a couple houses down was JJ Watt, but his backyard was a fucking, there was a tiger cage in there, but the tiger wasn't there. But there was a tiger cage, and he's like, "Oh yeah, usually sometimes the tiger's there. He's probably in the house or something." I was like, "What the fuck?"
And this was in Texas?
Yeah, Houston, Texas. I think it's Katy, out in the Katy area.
That's a
West
place.
Houston.
Like the Katy area is a place.
So Houston has like, there's like the Houston area. I don't know how to explain it. It's like kind of like Boise, Meridian, different like cities. but it's
Right.
still like
the Treasure
considered
Valley.
Houston.
It's like Houston.
Yeah.
You know, like Boise's the city, but it goes all the way out to Nampa technically if you think about it
Yeah.
another way.
And there's this county in Houston called Harris County. I think it. Somebody told me it's like the biggest county in the United States area wise, because it goes on for some time.
Isn't it hilarious to think about that every straight man in America is a tiger cub and a bag of meth away from marrying Joe Exotic?
Dark.
Every straight man in America, watch out. Jill's coming for you. Did you hear that part he talked about where he's like, well, when you watch porn, do you like the guy with the big dick or the guy with the little dick? He said, well, the big dick. And he's, well, you ain't that straight. I remember when I watched that scene, I was just like, no
it definitely
words.
Confused the
Not
sexuality.
a fucking
That's
word came out of me
what he's
after
trying to
that.
pull
I
up.
was just like, I think I took a break. For a couple minutes. I was like, okay, I'm gonna play Xbox. There's a few like I binge watched the shit out of it.
Yeah,
There's a few times where
I
I didn't
didn't
take a
binge
break.
watch it. I watched an episode and I sat and contemplated on it, and I was like, holy fuck, because like, I mean, some of you guys out there, you guys know my past. Like, fuck. I've done some crazy shit, but like, dude, to think about how I would take levels to some of that, take it to the next level to help myself, like to support myself to doing that.
Right.
Like with like just cover ups of like, you know, I don't even want to get into it, but
Dude.
of myself, but like how they did. Like I was.
You know, it's funny too how President Trump has the time to even bring up this situation. He's like, so how about that Tiger King guy? Like, we're gonna talk about him. I'm just like, why the fuck are you even like? You're in the middle of a pandemic, dude. Stick to that. Okay, let's focus. Let's just focus on one thing at a fucking time.
One thing I do want to say to you guys about the stimulus.
All five of you.
About the stimulus check.
That's actually kind of generous. All two of you.
All two of us.
So you're really only talking to me, Doss.
I really think about this stimulus check and how Trump's giving it to us. And I mean, the election is coming up this year. I definitely think Trump's going to get reelected.
Dude.
Or he's going to have a lot more voters.
Dude. One thing I gotta say is no shit. If you don't think this is a political move, you're stupid. Clearly.
Right.
It's a political move. Everything he's doing, clearly everything he's doing, it's not because of the pandemic. It's because he wants to get elected again.
Yeah.
It's because of the Trump administration.
It's not that he gives a shit about us.
So
I literally had a sum of money, X amount of money taken from my account on the 14th of this month to get
Pay your taxes.
12,000 or to get 1,200 back. Fuck. Like, thank you, but kiss my ass. Like, the amount of money that I had to paid for somebody's fucking stimulus check. They're probably gonna go buy crack with it or fucking other things, dude. Hopefully they pay their fucking rent to do crack in so they don't get fucking caught. Like I did. Pay your fucking taxes, ladies and
I
gentlemen.
think you're just mad because you didn't get a stimulus check yet. Did you get a stimulus check yet,
Oh,
Nathan?
dude, look, I can't even access my bank account.
Because you turned it off, didn't you?
Nope. Oh, it might work.
What'd you look at that? Maybe you got your stimulus check. Do you think you did?
Nope, it's not working.
Oh.
Fucking
Nathan.
unable to connect to the
Nathan,
network.
I'm going to tell you this right now. You fucked up. You fucked up.
I fucked up.
And back to the Tiger King thing, I just want to say. That's a political move.
Right.
Sir, we're in the middle of the national pandemic. Release the Tiger documentary. Give him, sir, what are we going to do? Coronavirus is sweeping the nation. People are panicking. Drop the tigers. Show them Joe Exotic.
Right. Let's
distract them for a little bit. You know that's what happened. No. All jokes aside. That didn't happen. I'm sorry, Joe Exotic. Carol Baskin did kill her wife. You shouldn't be in jail. She should be. That bitch.
That bitch, Carol Baskin. Oh, damn it, I tell you what.
And so other than the Joe Rogan podcast, Dallas, is there any other ones you like to listen to? For example, can you give an example?
A couple. There's one.
Off the top of your head, at least. I know you probably don't know on the top of your head, but I know a couple.
Off the top of my head. I started watching them only like
I only watch them sometimes because like the ideal time, because I work alone, so the ideal time for me to really listen to a podcast is while I'm working. You know, when I want to search off music and just kind of take a break from it and go do something different with my brain, or if I'm sitting home alone because I live by myself, and sometimes it's just nice, to, put a podcast on, and especially right now with social distancing. It's really it's really enjoyable just to kind of hang out by yourself and put some podcast on in the background and make you kind of feel like somebody's chilling, somebody's there, It's a lonely world we live in right now, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
It's a very lonely world we live in. It's
can't
weird.
shake anybody's hand like you used to.
Like, think about it, guys.
I remember back in my day when you could shake a man's hand.
Think about it, guys.
Not get sick.
We are a generation who really, really enjoys music festivals, enjoys concerts, enjoys the bars. We go out and we party. We go out and we fucking go. We go. This is hitting us harder than it is hitting. And, I have a lot of my friends that like to sit there and be like, oh, I'm an introvert. I'm this, I'm that. And they're all having fun right now. But, you're an introvert by choice. Everybody's something they want to be because they choose to be. But once they're being forced to do something, things change.
Right.
Things always change once you're being forced. So as much as you'd like to be introverted, you don't like being told you can't to go do something. So, go fuck yourself. You're not happy. Don't, oh, I'm already an introvert. Fuck you. You hate this just as much as the rest of us. Be fucking real.
Get real.
You hate this just as much as the rest of us. Yeah, cool. You might handle it a little bit better for the first 2 weeks, but hey, we're on a month now. How you feeling? How you fucking feeling? Hey, but no hate, no shame, all love, peace. Nathan,
is it fear or is it the law that keeps you quarantined?
People don't wear masks because they are afraid of getting other people sick. They wear masks because they're afraid of themselves getting sick, and that says a big thing about people. I'll tell you that right now. It says a big thing about people.
That's good. That's solid.
Like, I only wear a mask to protect other people because I think I'm pretty fucking healthy. I don't think I'm going to get sick. I'm not worried about getting sick, but I wear a mask because I don't know if I am spreading anything, and I don't want to contribute to that.
Exactly.
That's why I do it, and that's why everybody else should do it. But, there's people who don't do it. Yeah. There's people who wear gloves and all kinds of this shit. Like, they think they're just protecting themselves. Like, the funny thing is I have a respirator, and this thing is a gnarly-ass fucking respirator, and I don't use it because, ironically, it protects me great, but it's got a gas expansion hole that when you blow, it just the air that you breathe out just goes out the fucking chamber. Like, it doesn't get filtered out. When you wear a medical mask, that shit filters both ways, in, out, and out. And it still kind of helps. But the air hole in my fucking respirator is right dead center of my fucking mouth. The two gas holes, or the two gas filters, are on the sides, and then the air holes are in the center. So I'm literally still fucking breathing on you if I'm walking by. Mm-hmm. There is nothing getting filtered other than in. So, me wearing that does no good for anybody but fucking me. And some people don't really realize. Not a lot of people are educating themselves on all this. I'm barely educating myself, and I'm educating myself 100 times more than I normally would be because I have a podcast.
Yeah, I have I have an N95 dust mask, and that's the one where it clips up to the tip of your nose, around the mouth. It's not one of those like surgical masks. I use those because it's like, that's a good thing that you said that. I didn't even think about it. Protected myself from other people. There's a there's a there's a word for that. Your own
Watching your own back or whatever. Just fucking whole
something like that. Can't think of the word. A friend told me it the other day.
Inconsiderate. Like, that's a good word.
Yeah, his own consideration maybe. Just for his own to keep.
He's self-concerned more than anything.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah, to keep himself
from
spreading it to
one
me.
thing I do wanted to actually say, I know there is one listener on here. He's also a past guest, Hayden Midkiff.
Oh, hell
Hayden
yeah.
Midkiff. I know he's probably going to be listening. He likes to tune in. This is going to be one he'll check in on for sure. Hayden Midkiff, if you're listening to this, a couple podcasts I think you might enjoy, and a couple other people. This isn't just directed at Hayden. I just know Hayden really enjoys podcasts, and a lot of other people do. A lot of other people, they enjoy podcasts. So here's my personal following that I like to listen to, and everybody's got something different, but I think when it comes down to the top two, everybody listens to the same guy, Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan, he obviously throws the Joe Rogan experience out there, and anybody who is an adult male who isn't vegan and just is in general a fucking cool guy, you like this show. It's a cool fucking show. Okay. And that's one thing why I also like tried to really point out I'm not trying to be like Joe Rogan. I am idolizing the guy in a way. Like, I do really appreciate what he's doing, and I am taking after his platform a bit as he's done it right. Why do it different? It's not like he says this is my way of doing it. You should do it. No, he literally says go fucking start a podcast. All the time.
Right.
He says it all the
motherfucking Cash App. And do you have a download of that?
Please don't call it the Cash App on my podcast. They don't pay me anything. Hey, Cash App, if you want to pay me something, we'll talk about it. It'd be great.
Cash App pays me $5 for every friend I invite. So
Nathan Dass, what's your Instagram? We need to shout that out on here. Your Instagram handle, my friend.
I do not get on Instagram often.
Nope. Okay, cool. Anyways, back to what I was talking about. The Joe Rogan Experience, ladies and gentlemen, is my favorite podcast. That's obviously the number one on the list. It's got countless episodes with people that everybody enjoys and loves. And there's an episode for everybody out there. So if you don't enjoy watching podcasts, put on his YouTube to watch the podcast. It's actually a great talk show versus just being a radio show that some people they don't understand the concept of sitting down and putting on a radio show. They think it's fucking weird. Maybe watch it. If you think it's fucking weird, put it on YouTube, put it on. It's a different experience. It's a different way to enjoy. Another one that I really, really, really am fond of. This is my second favorite podcast that I like to listen to. It is the Meat Eater Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. The Meat Eater Podcast is a phenomenal podcast. Please go check that out. If you ever get a chance, that shit is the shit. Obviously, another one is the Young Blood Podcast. Of course, check that one out, everybody. If you're not already checking it out, just kidding. That's my podcast. Jokes, folks. Jokes.
Subscribe, and share.
Oh, thank you, Doss. You're so very good at doing that. And one more after the Eater Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. The Young Blood Podcast was a joke. I really meant to say Sam Harris. Sam Harris Making Sense. His Making Sense podcast is one of the best meditation podcasts you will ever listen to. It is just simply phenomenal, ladies and gentlemen. That is all I can really say about his podcast. There's no other words that can put it better than that. He just kills it in every way, shape, and form.
Also,
and if Nathan Dass, please shut the fuck up for a second. I'm not done. Okay. Anyways,
if you're into pop shit, if you're into pop stars, hip hop and whatnot, the No Jumper Show podcast. That's a good one. Apple Podcasts, No Jumper Show.
You could have waited till I was done to do that. I really appreciate you cutting me off. That was super phenomenal of you. There is kind of a set way of talking in a podcast, and you just broke rule number one. Thanks for that. Anyways, back to what I was saying. To finish what I was saying, Mike Rowe, ladies and gentlemen. Mike Rowe is a phenomenal fucking podcaster. This man, in every way, shape, and form, check out his podcast. He does short stories. He does all kinds of fun little inspirational things. And the guy's voice. He's fucking Mike Rowe. Fucking Dirty Jobs. The man, the legend, the guy who makes it happen. Dirty Jobs. He's the shit. really check out his podcast. It's really, 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 really fun to listen to. Another one, Ben Greenwood. This is last but not least, Ben Greenwood High Performance Podcast. This podcast is a lot of fun. It's for those of you who like Idaho people. You know, you guys all live in the wild side a little bit. You're a little bit crazy. You like to do those bikes. You like to do that mountain climbing. You like to do that mountain
those
shit.
Bikes.
You like to have a lot of fun. Okay.
Fun.
Check out words. Check out the Ben Greenwood High Performance Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. As that is my conclusion to my favorite podcast. Dass, was there anything else you wanted to throw in now that I'm finished? I apologize.
No, I just wanted to cut you off.
Oh, God, you're such a cocksucker. I hope you know that. In the words of Joey.
But, yeah, ladies and gentlemen.
Diaz, you fucking cocksucker.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate your time that you spent with us.
Okay.
We've had fun. We've had a lot of fun.
Is that all you wanted to say?
Yep.
Cool. You don't have an Instagram handle for anybody to go follow you? It's not Hossboss Dass?
Nope.
All right. It's not Hossboss Dass, ladies and gentlemen.
Try and spell
on
it
Instagram.
out.
But on Instagram, I am YB.podcast on Instagram. Go check me out. I post clips on there. Just little highlights of the videos. Small little tidbits here and there. Especially of those of you who do follow me and have been on the show and want to go get a little bit of the feedback and just a couple clips on there. Go check that out. It's on there. On YouTube, we are on fucking Apple. We are on fucking Spotify. Obviously, guys, the name is YoungBloodPodcast. All one word. No the. Spelled YOUNGBLOODPODCAST. It's long as fuck.
Spaces.
But, you know, there's a lot of things in life that are long as fuck, but we still love them. Have a good night, ladies and gentlemen. That's another episode.